occasionally when you're sewing you will get a thread jam and this screen will appear with the cogs on. Now if you get this screen, there's nothing to worry about, you don't need to panic. All it means is that you have got a thread jam and that your machine is tight and it's not sewing properly. So when you get this screen you need to investigate what's causing the problem and you need to unblock the thread jam. So what you'll normally find is that when the screen comes up you can't turn your hand wheel, everything is stuck. So how do we resolve this? Well, the first thing we can do is we can raise our presser foot. So we lift our presser foot up, then that will reduce the tension on your machine. Then the next stage is to see if you can free your sewing, free your work. So what I would do is I would see if I can get my fabric to come out, which in this instance I can't, it's all jammed up. So what I would do next is I would remove my bobbin and my bobbin case and see if I can free up my work then. So the next stage is to try and take your bobbin case out. So we're going to push to the right and I can just take that out. So that's come out. Then I could try again to see if I can remove it, but no, it's still stuck. So then the next stage is to take the hook out. So we press this clip to the side and then your race cover comes down. Then you can pinch this central prong. Sorry, I'm doing this at a funny angle. That will take my hook out, so that's come out. Then I can see I've got some threads caught there. I don't know if you can see that, there's a few threads there. So now the hook's out, I think I should be able to raise my needle up using my hand wheel and I should gently be able to remove the work and just trim that thread there. So I've managed to take that out and make sure there's no more threads caught in there. It's really important to do this gently and not to yank your work out, because if you just pull it out it could have got wrapped around your scissors, and then if you just pull it straight out that can lead to some damage to the scissors. So the key thing to remember is when you're removing a thread jam is just to be really careful and not to pull anything. So once you've managed to remove your work, then you can give everything a good clean out and clean it, oil it and put it all back together again. So a key thing to check is that there aren't any threads caught around these pins here. You've got 2 pins either side, so make sure there's no threads caught around there. Make sure there's no threads at all in this area. Make sure it's all nice and clean, and also it's a good idea to check underneath the stitch plate as well. So I'm also going to check under the stitch plate. So I'm going to going to take my foot off and I'm going to remove the stitch plate, so I can press here, that lifts it up, and then I can just take my stitch plate off and then with a brush just give it a good clean out, make sure there's no threads caught there that you can see. So then once you've checked that there aren't any threads anywhere, then you can rethread and do a little test bit of straight stitching and make sure it's okay. And at this stage you could then cancel out of this screen, so we could just come out of that and rethread.